It has been interesting to watch this Steven Crowder and Hilary Crowder divorce unfold on the Twitter. So this man named Steve Poole says Crowder is rich, therefore he has to fund his legal opponent as in his wife, soon to be ex-wife. And he says, and if Crowder was poor, he says the argument that because Stephen has money, he is required to pay the legal opponent is too communist for me. Anytime you sue anyone, it's a war of cash. This isn't unique. The fact that so many people are so unintelligent or unknowledgeable about how contracts and divorce work is silly. When you are married, there's something called marital assets. So he is not necessarily funding his opponent. There's something called marital assets. And the person who loses in the divorce decree or whatever will end up having to pay the legal fees of the other spouse. And it's not that he is funding his legal opponent. They're using marital assets. Now, if she decided to sacrifice her well-being, her financial health to stay at home where he could go off and work, the marital assets that were accrued during the time of the marriage, she should have access to them as well. Some of these people don't know how marriage works and how a contract works. That's the reason why they get on the Twitter and they type nonsense, because you don't have to be smart to type nonsense on the internet. Whoever Lauren Southern is, she responded with, yes, he's launched extraordinarily litigious lawsuits against her and family that she cannot afford because she quit her job to be a stay-at-home mom. He also then went for full custody of the kids, but thankfully she was awarded some funds to prevent herself from becoming homeless and having her children taken. If you understood how much he's spending on lawyers, you'd know she's spending every cent of that defending herself. Should stay-at-home wives be able to have their children taken from them and left homeless if their husband is extremely wealthy? Or should they be given a sliver of the money their husband is spending on lawyers to defend themselves? Understand once again that marital assets accrued during the time of the marriage is both parties, is both the husband and the wife, even if the husband was the one that was the main breadwinner. That's how marriage. These people being upset about child support and going to the internet to talk about it is silly. They need to understand how child support is created, who created it, and why. This man is a multimillionaire and he thought that he was just going to be able to leave his wife destitute or whatever. I don't know what he thought, but that is not how marriage and divorce works. Even if he has the lawyers right now to drag this out, he is just spending his own money because these are marital assets. But Tim Pool, whoever this guy is, says Crowder has to pay $25,000 in child support that his ex-wife uses to pay lawyers to go after him. He has to fund his own destruction. How effed is the U.S. divorce court? Understand this is how marriage goes. And if these same people are the ones that are advocating for women to stay at home, understand that even if they are the ones that are staying at home, they still get marital assets. And so they are upset, but child support is going to be based on the main breadwinner's income. I don't know how slow these people are, but they do not seem to understand how laws work and who is typically the ones creating the law. Instead of going to the Twitter, maybe they should be creating policy, and also they should stop pushing in conservative circles being a stay-at-home traditional, sorry, I'm cooking, being a stay-at-home and traditional wife if they do not want to pay when things go downhill. These people in the comment section were really upset because for whatever reason, they seem to not understand how child support works, despite the fact that, we've had social media and people being paid ridiculous amounts of child support. This is not a new phenomenon. Swift says $300,000 a year and she can't live. I hate women like this. $25,000 a month is preposterous. I'm willing to divorce my wife, marry Steven, and then divorce him for $15,000 a month. Stacy says, vile and disgusting. I feel sorry for the children used to make money for their mothers. Like literally, these are the circles. The people that comment under these folks are the circles that push women to be like, stay at home, be traditional, all that stuff. But then they get mad because the one who stayed at home has to get paid some money. It's just how it works. This woman, Lauren, says again, Stephen is paying over $100,000 per month on legal fees for this. $25,000 sounds like a lot of money until you realize none of it is being pocketed and is being used to fund a defense against a vastly overfunded legal offense against her. And she's saying that in response to $25,000 is not an effing sliver. She'll get more in a year than the vast majority of people will ever learn in a year. Your BS points are the same BS points that ensures fathers are consistently effed. Understand that this is how it goes. If one parent stays at home and the other parent goes to work, these are marital assets. These are not simply his assets because he was the breadwinner. This person says Steven Crowder spending as much a month on legal fees for the divorce as a high profile murder trial is kind of nuts, and his wife is essentially broke. This person says, we see you for what you are, trad con. I don't know what that means. Bloomy Duke says the evidence so far is leaning to a bitter ex situation. She's getting $25,000 a month. What else is needed? I could live super comfortably on $25,000 a month. Brian says, so the child support isn't being used on the child. Okay, so Lauren says, I can tell none of you have read the legal documents published by Current Revolt. It's not simply worth engaging with you. He's paying for all of her legal fees. No, there are multiple cases going on. The $25,000 is going directly to divorce lawyers. She is trying really hard to educate these people. So this person says, okay, how's this? He's paying her $25,000 a month. Also, he's paying all the legal fees. He's offered $25 million, which she declined, and hired one of the most expensive attorneys in the country. And on top of that, there seems to be a very clear effort between her family and Jared to smear him to get more money. And then he's like, everybody's trying to paint her as a victim. And I do want to say, I don't know these people. I'm just simply saying that so many people don't understand that marriage is a contract. And when one parent stays at home, the other parent goes to work. But what is accrued are marital assets, is not simply the breadwinner. And when there are legal fees, the legal fees will be paid out of the marital assets. Now, you cannot, on one hand, want women to stay at home, and then on the other hand, not expect that the stay at home parent will get paid some money if the marriage dissolves. It just won't happen. This is the type of people that get upset about feminism. Feminists became feminists because women did have to regroup and restart their whole lives after men left them. This happened. So folks cannot get mad. And this is the type that would get upset about feminism and women being able to support themselves. These are the same people that also want women in the home. They cannot get upset when these men have to take care of their wives, even when the relationship dissolves. But they will, because I don't know. I don't like literally, they are. Do they want women to suffer? They seem to really want women to suffer simply because a marriage ends. But that's not how the law works. Anyways, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.